My name is Steve Jurvetson. I'm a managing director at Draper Fisher Jurvetson, an early stage venture capital firm. And we've been coming to the Boomer Summit for a number of years. I think it's my second time to speak here. And we're always interested in new investment opportunities, new markets, and this is one of the biggest. And surprisingly underexploited. I think there's a lot of potential here that hasn't really been realized. And so I love the entrepreneurs that I meet here, the opportunity to learn from people who have been thinking about this target market. We've had a fantastic morning of speakers today, and I already have 2 or 3 meetings of follow-up scheduled back in the office with the startup companies that are here. So I think I've come to know about this through Mary and her ubiquitous presence in this field, and her charm and sort of outgoing outreach has been wonderful to help nurture me along over the years in understanding what this market's all about. So we have invested in startup companies that are servicing this target market segment. So Posit Science is one example, a San Francisco-based company that develops software to help reverse cognitive decline as people age. We all age from starting, unfortunately, in our mid-30s to the end of life at a pretty constant pace, and Posit has software to help reverse at least 10 years of that age-related decline. We also invest in medical technologies and life sciences technologies for health and wellness. We are looking at a number of continuing education companies. We have 3 so far that we've invested in that we think will benefit from adult re-education, going back to school, the sort of cyclic life cycle as we just heard about from Ken Thickwald, the way in which baby boomers are looking at ongoing lifelong learning in a different way than their cohort, their older generation ahead of them. So. Oh gosh, there's a bunch of others, online retailers that are like MyShape that are developing products that help people of all ages, but in particular focusing on the growth for online apparel in particular is women in the baby boomer age bracket. So those are some of the examples I spoke about this morning, but we are more generically investing in startups that are trying to make a difference in the world and change the world. And this market and its size is certainly something we should pay attention to. The companies we've invested in, we think they're going to be great, but I'd be a little biased. And so rather than sing the praises of the companies that I just mentioned that we have invested in, one of the opportunities that we see coming is to create a marketplace for information goods and services. Information goods could be wisdom, knowledge, information, and a service could be, let's say, graphic design, expert opinion on something. And the desire and ability of a broadband connected boomer population with time and expertise and lifelong experience set of lessons learned could be invaluable to folks all around the world, frankly. And so how can we have a sort of an eBay for information, a marketplace for ideas that could be America's outsourcing alternative to offshoring, to rely on the boomers we have with the capacity, the desire to engage, and the willingness to help others in what they're doing and create a marketplace, an economic marketplace for that, what I call the eBay of information, which I think should be larger than the eBay for physical goods, because most of the economy is information products and services, so why shouldn't there be an online marketplace for it? And there are some challenges. It's not an easy thing to do or else people would have done it, but I think we'll look back 10 years from now and say, oh yeah, of course, whatever, company that figured it out. How do you get started? How do you get the ball rolling? Whoever figures that out has a huge opportunity ahead of them. Often it's not the winners that are wildly successful. In contests such as these, many of these will fail. The ones that the panelists or the venture capitalists think are the most successful are inevitably not necessarily the best. It's a judgment call, and even if you're not the winner, some great companies come out of these. We invested in the winner of the MIT Business Plan competition, and it did well, but amongst the losers was Akamai, which went public and had a wildly successful run. Just because some random panel of judges likes one idea doesn't mean it's the best. In fact, I might argue that if it's a majority vote, you're not gonna find the best idea, because if the ideas that really change the world are never universally regarded as great ideas. So someone will think it's great. A handful of people will see it, get it, and say, that's brilliant. And most people will not. Most people think that's dumb, that's ridiculous, what are you thinking? And that majority opinion should not deter the entrepreneur, right? So they can find a few passionate believers. And if no one agrees with you, maybe you got to think about it. But if most people disagree, that's a good sign. And in our firm, we look for that. Yahoo, Google, Hotmail, Skype, most venture capitalists thought those were dumb ideas before this first investment. And then once they went public or were wildly successful, everyone retrospectively changed their tune. They're like, oh yeah, I would have done that deal. That was a brilliant one.